Hey, everybody, I'm just going to wait for folks to come into the room. We're just going to wait for folks to come into the room for a second here because we have stuff to talk about. I didn't think I'd have to do a show. I was taking a nice break tonight, had a nice dinner with friends. You people. With this believing CNN, believing that, all right, we're going to let some people come into the room. I'm going to let some people come into the room. So we can talk about this. Yeah, thank God I'm safe, Lee. Thank God I'm safe because I drove by the White House, and you know what? There were people in groups of 2 or 3 walking calmly on the sidewalk. They may or may not have been in a protest. I was at grave risk of actually being somewhat near somebody who may been at the White House at some point, mildly yelling at the. So, how's it going, everybody? I literally stopped watching movie night, taking a break because I had to get on Facebook and see everyone freaking out over what is happening at the White House. Oh my gosh, Suzanne, the White House. The White House. They're breaching they're in the White House. They're breaching the Treasury Department. There's huge chaos. Okay. So, I'm just up looking at the Capitol building, eating at Las Tomatas. Like, oh, we're done eating. Let's go drive over to by the White House. 10:30. Now you think if there's a violent riot protest, right? That it would actually, it would last later than, I don't know, 10. People would still be there, right? The riots are in Minnesota. They're burning things down all night long. If there was an angry, violent protest, the people trying to break into the White House, they just stopped at 10 o'clock because we went over to the White House. Okay, I took pictures. The reason I'm talking to you is because people actually tried to tell me that my pictures of the White House weren't of the White House. Because you people have seen it on TV. Well, we saw it on TV, Suzanne. We heard it on the news, Suzanne. They said that people were throwing things at Secret Service. All right, so let me explain something to you about the freaking White House and Secret Service. All right? The White House sits on Pennsylvania Avenue. Okay? Pennsylvania Avenue has a little section right in front of the White House on the north side of the White House. On the other side of Pennsylvania Avenue is Lafayette Park. Okay? Lafayette Park is a big statue of Andrew Jackson. Andrew Jackson in the thing. How's it going? Good to see everybody. So it's a big statue. You can see it in my picture. Okay, he's on a horse. Andrew Jackson. In the middle of Lafayette Park. I think it might be Lafayette, actually. Great statue, guy, White House. The Secret Service control that strip of road. They control it, okay? They're always wearing their bulletproof gear. They're always in their SWAT gear. Somebody's like, they're in their riot gear. Their black bulletproof vests that they wear every day to work every single day. Yeah, that's what the Secret Service wear, you guys. Oh, they have their big guns. Yeah, that's what they have every day, you guys. The country is not stupid. It is keeping the president safe. They're not going to not keep the president safe. This idea that you guys think that some angry mob can come and storm the lawn of the White House and get in and get the president, and this is insane. And so that's why I'm telling you. And you're right, Lee. There's nothing wrong with worrying. There's nothing wrong with worrying about me, but we shouldn't worry about the president. It was the same thing when we had the Kavanaugh protests, okay? Do you remember the Kavanaugh protests? And everyone was so upset. And they were yet telling me, Suzanne, they're surrounding the Capitol building. And I said, what? Are you guys crazy? That's a really big building, you guys. That would take a lot of people to actually surround the Capitol building. I'm going to go drive over to the Capitol and see if that's even possible. And so I drove all the way around the Capitol building. And on one side of the Capitol building, there were people jogging, but there were no protests. And on one other side of the Capitol building, there was a lady with her stroller, but no protests. And then on the other side of the Capitol building, there was like, some people taking pictures, but there were no protests. And then when you finally got onto the third side of the Capitol, in a little area, there were the protests. And I was like, this is not surrounding the Capitol building. And that's why I went and filmed it. Because what happens is the camera guys get in the crowd, and they do it to you every time. They do it to you every time when they talk about protests here in DC. Because I go to see the protests here in DC, and I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, they're little bitty protests compared. Or they're very contained protests, and they're merely making it look more aggressive than it is. Now, so they get into the crowd. So the crowd is always going to look like more people if you're filming from inside the crowd, from down on the ground, in and amongst people, than if you are filming from a side or from away or from above where you can see the actual size of the crowd. They do it to me all the time. They do it to me all the time. And see, here's how you know I'm right. Here's how you know I'm right to say this. Because this guy, he says, you're stupid and you don't even know what you're talking about. Actually, I know entirely what I'm talking about. I've actually been in a crowd, in a large angry protest in Lafayette Park. You should look it up on the internet. I think I know what I'm talking about. I've been there a few times in a variety of situations. So we see the crowd, okay? There was a crowd at 14th and U Street in DC, reasonably sized crowd, a few hundred people, 200 to 500 people, I would say. This crowd, I am to understand, marched over to the White House. I don't know how many of them arrived there, but when they arrived there, they took the metal barricades. You guys, they threw things at the Secret Service. They took the metal barricades that are always there. The metal barricades are always there. All right, they're always there. Always. They keep the metal barricades there because at any given point in time, Secret Service might close down Pennsylvania Avenue. They might close down the whole park. They do that all the time. They do that in any situation for any reason. Somebody gets aggressive. Somebody makes one of the sharpshooters on the roof feel nervous. Guy lights himself on fire. Too many protesters. They do it all the time. It's a very common factor. As someone who has protested or gathered or organized in front of the White House there on the north side, what I can tell you is at any moment, your permit to be there, your right to be there, your right to stand on Pennsylvania Avenue can be revoked by Secret Service who no longer feel it's safe for any reason whatsoever. For any reason whatsoever. So, Secret Service will actually, if you see some of the video I've seen on Twitter, they're actually being really super nice to folks. Because when the folks start throwing the barricades, the metal barricades, kind of throwing them and knocking them over, the police gently are like, okay, let you guys go ahead and get on the other side of the barricade. And they gently push the barricades back up. Gently push the barricades back up. And they gather themselves and prepare to actually decide to clear the park because now you have a mob who is committing acts of violence. This is not tolerated. This is not tolerated in any capacity for any length of time on Pennsylvania Avenue right there in front of the White House. It's not. It's not. Protect your truth. You can ask me the same dumb question that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about over and over. I'm not going to answer it. So you can type to your thumbs are sore. That's not the game we're playing. So that's just the facts of the matter. Now, Suzanne, but they breached the Treasury Department. They breached the Treasury Department. All right, you guys. I'm going to have the cat out. There you go. Come on. I got to shut the door. Okay, the Treasury Department actually sits right beside the White House. Okay, so the White House complex on Pennsylvania Avenue, right next to it, the Treasury Department. There's a fence. There's a gray fence with a metal topping right next to where the White House fence is. And you can, if you can climb a little bit of fence, not even that much. I probably can do because I am not a good fence climber, but other people are. You can get over the fence. You can go over the fence. So they got over the fence and they spray painted. And then Secret Service immediately arrested them. They were kept into custody for a short period of time. So obviously Secret Service wasn't even being that aggressive in their enforcement. If there was real danger, if someone had actually breached the Treasury Department, if someone actually had broken into the White House, do you think that they would have released them? Pay attention. I mean, it's mind-numbing how stupid you can possibly be. It's mind-numbing how stupid some of these folks can continue to pretend to be. Sweetie, I don't care. Feel free to find where you see the left. This is what they do. I'm finding where you live. Go ahead. Go ahead. Come find me. Come find me for telling people the truth about what's going on at the White House. That you would threaten someone for telling the truth about a riot is insane. You're the leftists that are insane. This is what's so disturbing. Is this kind of behavior, this kind of mentality, this kind of craziness. Hold on just a quick second. We're going to leave you here for just a second. Sorry, but we're watching movies in the other room. And it's so ridiculous that I had to come on and talk to you about it. What you guys are hearing and posting and fearfully talking about, I had to come on and talk about it because that's how absurd it was. I literally got up from the movie to make sure I could tell you guys what ridiculous. And I'm glad I did. Because look, the left is already upset that I'm telling you the truth. They're already threatening me because I'm telling you the truth. Okay, so somebody jumped over the fence of the Treasury Department. Yeah, and they were detained. This is probably the event that actually caused Secret Service to clear the rest of the park. Because that's what they do. When they can no longer control the crowd, they clear Pennsylvania Avenue and they clear the park. So by the time we got there, shortly after 10, no one was there. Very, very few people were still in the park area. They had the gates on either side of Pennsylvania Avenue closed. So they were letting people out the gate. You couldn't go back in. We drove past on 8th Street, overlooking Lafayette Park. Took a picture, two. Drove down on 14th. Right there along the side. No, they can't ever get into the White House. They cannot physically get in there. If they had gotten into the White House, there would be people still in custody right now. You're going to get shot before you get into the White House. Let me repeat what I just said. You're going to get shot before you get into the White House. The Secret Service will shoot you before they allow you to breach the White House. So stop saying these things. Stop saying craziness as if we don't have Secret Service, as if there isn't protocol, as if there isn't facts, as if there isn't reality. Okay? What happened? A few hundred people went down in front of the White House. They yelled at the White House. They threw some metal barricades and water bottles or whatever at the cops, at Secret Service. Secret Service was gracious. When they got out of control and jumped the fence, Secret Service detained that individual and broke up the crowd. That's what freaking happened, you guys. That is what happened. Yeah, Patty, I'm on here late. I'm on here late because crazy people keep saying things like, Suzanne, there's riots in the White House and people have broken into the White House. You guys are crazy. That didn't happen. When I drove by the White House, shortly after 10 o'clock, everything was calm. Everything was calm. A few people still walking around, their friends, looking like they had been at some sort of gathering. You guys do know that there has been a protest for the first 3 years. In fact, they might still be doing it, like almost every night during the whole Kavanaugh year, the entire year of Brett Kavanaugh. They had a protest there almost every single night. For every single night, protest in front of the White House. Sometimes 40 people, sometimes 100 people, sometimes 20 people, sometimes 40 people, over and over. Did you guys hear about that? Did you guys know that they were protesting every single night? No, you probably heard about the one where Rosie O'Donnell was at. Well, yeah, that protest that she was at, that wasn't a one and done. They do that over. They did it over and over and over and over. People protest here in D.C. all the time. All the time. Every day. Literally, when you go down to the White House to hold an event or to hold a protest, you might find 2 or 3 other groups also protesting there. All the time. So that's the facts. You guys got to stop being crazy. You have to start. They are putting this through an agenda. There's clearly an agenda to make it look like these protests are happening across the country, and they're so dangerous and they're so violent, and people are riled up and mad. I can tell you right now, I drove through the southeast of DC. Yeah, I drove through the whole. I live in the southeast. I drove through the southeast. If DC residents were mad, okay, if they were mad at the George Floyd murder, wouldn't you think that they would be at this protest? I mean, if it was really, they were riled up, don't you think that those neighborhoods would not have a lot of people in them, and those people would be at the protest? And this was like 7, 8 o'clock when the protests were still going on at 14th and U. Very heavy, the largest group of the protest. Don't you think the residents of DC, in the poor black neighborhoods, in the neighborhoods where all the black people live, don't you think the young people, as we're seeing at the protest, don't you think they would be at the protest? Do you know who was at the protests? Did you see the footage of the protests? Because it was a large majority, a large proportion of white liberals. Let's be honest. You should look at the crowds. Look at the crowds of the protest at 14, and you'll see it for yourself. So now this is DC. This city is half black. Okay? Patty, it totally does. I agree. Patty says this has George Soros written all over it. Yeah, because there was a lot of liberal astroturf in DC. A lot of liberal astroturf in DC. That's what I'm telling you for free. Okay? The folks that were there at the protest did not very well represent DC. The people in DC that you would think would be at the protest were hanging out in their own neighborhoods, minding their own business, not at the protest. Okay? And when you go to the White House, what they're showing you was a brief period of time. I mean, we ate dinner and hung out for a few minutes, and then everybody's like, oh my God, the White House is burning down. I'm like, what? Shut up. And I meant shut up because none of that happened. Some people went in through some barricades at some Secret Service, and a kid jumped over our friends with a spray paint can, and he was then detained, and the park was cleared. So, why don't we stick with the facts, folks? Why don't we stick with the facts? That's why I came on here tonight, in the middle of the night, to listen to trolls and madness and all of this crazy, ridiculous crap I got to listen to from people who feel that they need to be just, I don't know why you would oppose me telling you what's actually going on. Why do you want to make it look like there's more of a protest than there is? Why? Why would my telling you what's actually happening in DC somehow instigate people being very angry, being very hateful? Why would they do that? Unless you guys are literally working together for a narrative. Unless you guys are literally working together to try to spread a lie. And I'm not really willing to let you guys keep spreading the lie. So Here's what I need you guys to know. Washington, D.C., while there were in fact moderate protests, okay, the White House was not breached, nor was the president ever in danger, nor was the White House ever in danger. The Treasury Department was not breached. Somebody jumped over a fence. Secret Service was never concerned. They weren't in their SWAT gear or riot gear. They were in their usual gear. And the White House tonight, right now, calm, peaceful, under control, as it was when we drove by several hours ago. So, I don't know what they're telling you on CNN, because I don't watch CNN. I don't know what they're telling you on Fox. But what I can tell you with my eyeballs, with my own eyes and my own ears and my own knowledge of living in D.C., is that there are not riots at the White House. They did not breach the White House. There is no one in the White House. They did not get into the White House. They had no opportunity to get into the White House. They did not get into the Treasury Department. They jumped over a fence. A few people threw some barricades. They said some nasty things to the Secret Service, and eventually they were removed from the park. There's the facts. That's what happened. That's what happened. Lee, I'm telling you, if what you're talking about is that they're wearing their black SWAT gear, and all of the video I've seen, their bulletproof vests, they wear that every day. They wear that every day. So if you can show me a video, put it on my page. If you can show me a video of the cops in something more than what they wear every day, I would tell you. But what I'm telling you is what I have seen them in is what they are always in when you go to the White House. And I have been there like literally 3 times in the last 2 months. So, yeah, there's no riots at the White House. Please stop thinking there's riots at the White House. There is a mildly aggressive protest that was, yeah, they have those. Lee, I keep saying this. They have those ready. The only time they don't use their helmets on a regular, they often have helmets. The only time they use their helmets, they won't take their helmets is if it's empty. But that gear is always there. Always there. You put a bunch of people in, you'll see them wear that gear. A lot of people come to protest there, they will start to wear the gear. And you start throwing stuff at them, then they really will start to wear the gear. But that's all readily available. They literally, they are ready to put that on at any given moment and often wear gear like that. Sometimes they're even just standing around like that. If they feel that, if they have evidence, if they have knowledge that there might be a protest coming, when you show up, they might be standing there with their shields and helmets on. That's the facts. I want you guys, I'm only telling you this because you should not be afraid. The reason they're telling you the big story, like, oh my God, they're wearing their riot gear. Okay, actually, they're wearing standard issue gear, and they did add their helmets, and they did put their shields. They did grab their shields, which they often carry. Actually, they often have with them when you're doing any kind of protest there. So, Sam, you can say not true all you want. I've been physically there. I was physically there. I've been literally in a riot situation in Lafayette Park. I don't care who works for who. I've been there. I have seen it. I just saw it. So this idea that folks can somehow say that I don't know what I'm talking about, and I know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. No, Sam, you're a liar. This is a lie. This is a lie. They're wearing riot because they were dealing with gases. Lie. Lying statement right now. That is a lie. Oh, you were there an hour ago. Okay, but just above here, it was all this. Oh, my cousin works for SWAT. They don't wear helmets a lot, and shields are not necessary. Were you there an hour ago? Because if you were there an hour ago, wouldn't you just say that? Oh, I was there an hour ago. They were wearing that. No. Oh, it was all, oh, my cousin does this. Do you see what I'm telling you guys? The left is right here, right here on my feed, trying to make sure that you believe a lie. Do you see it? Do you see it? So don't watch. You guys got to stop watching the news. You guys got to stop watching the news. You guys got to stop paying attention to this stuff. Stop paying attention to this stuff. Yeah, exactly. This is what he does. This is what he does. Let me see if I can. For some reason, the cursor doesn't want to move. I don't know why it won't move all of a sudden. It's making me crazy. Yeah. Oh, if only it would move. Why won't you move? I don't know why the cursor won't move. Okay. So that's what I came on to talk to you guys. That's what I came to tell you about. That's what I came to explain. And they continue to try to lie. They continue to try to lie. I mean, I can't even move the cursor to show you that Sam Holtz, who has just been telling lies before, just said, I watch on CNN. Oh, or were you there? You guys are liars. So the president is safe, everybody. The White House is safe. You guys are all being led to believe something entirely out of control. But it's not out of control here in Washington, D.C. It's actually calm and it's actually fine. So you're welcome to believe what you want, but it is what it is. So, yeah, well, let's find out. Let's go turn out. You know what? Here's what we can do. Here's what we can do. You want to say this? Breitbart is telling you what the protest is right now, allegedly, even though it's 1 o'clock in the morning and the protest had already been broken up at 10 o'clock. See, this is why you guys drive me crazy. This is why you guys drive me crazy. Why won't none of this work? I mean, it's just giving me so much hassle. Let's just see what you think Breitbart is doing. Give me a second. If you guys want to keep playing the game, we'll play the game. I'm just tired of listening. I'm tired. I'm so tired of what continues to be misinformation. Okay. So we're on the Breitbart website. White House attack intensifies. Bless their heart, but see, you guys know they get clicks this way, and they all do this. So they're really not telling you the actual truth. All of these protests, all of the pictures I am seeing on the Breitbart page, where it says live updates, these photos are actually all during daylight, so that's obviously not current. So, yeah, they're updating 12:07 a.m. tear gas at the White House. This is the update. This is the update on Breitbart. So let's take a look at this as they're updating. Random people's tweets. Minnesota, all of the rioting places. Interesting. They want to make sure we all have to know. We all have to know. And see here, 3 officers down at 7. This is what I find interesting. 3 officers down at 17th and Pennsylvania Avenue Northwest, according to DC Fire and EMS Band. No word yet on what precisely that means. That's the closest public corner to the northwest edge of the White House. That is an entirely we don't even know what those things are. Literally, the guy says, I don't know what precisely that means. But here we are having a panic because what you guys want to see on the internet gives the fight. So here's the tear gas. Let's watch the video at the tear gas at the White House. I'm going to put the share up here so I can share the screen. Because then I can analyze what the heck you guys think are happening and what they actually are showing are happening. Oh. Tear gas at the White House, you guys. Guess what? Media cannot be played. Media cannot be played. Let's try this again. What? Why can't the media be played? So, continue to be panicky. Continue to be panicky. Yeah, thank you, Alex. I'm going to put this up. Lots of media piping out. There are 200 protesters they allowed to mill around with their riot gear cops in Lafayette. Yeah, exactly. And right now, they're busy freezing my feet. I can't even use the computer. So, yeah. They're so mad at me telling the truth right now. You guys, don't believe what they're telling you on the media. Don't believe it. Okay? Don't believe the organicness of these riots. They're not. These are astroturf. Don't believe that they're as big as they are, that somehow that your president is in danger. Don't believe that. Don't believe that DC police somehow don't have this under control. Excuse me. Don't believe it. Because none of those things are true. We're not living in a city where they stand down and they burn things. That's just not happening. So, just not happening, you guys. And now, since my computer has entirely frozen up to me, literally because I'm telling you the truth right now, I cannot use the computer at all. It freezes up on a regular basis. So they're doing everything they can to jack down my service. It's not bad. Tim Holt is not bad. It's very not bad. So they're really not. See, look how much they're trying to do it. Look how much they're trying to do it. People, that's not the one I'm trying to like. It's here. It's terrible, violent protest. It's not. No, Vanessa D, sweetie, if you were there, you'd say I'm here. It's not. You're lying. You guys are there. You're here to lie. You wouldn't be on my feed. No one is sitting at a protest in front of the White House watching my feed. So why are you here? So stupid. The level of stupidity continues to make me laugh. So, you guys, don't believe the hype. Don't believe what they're telling you. They're absolutely ridiculous. And they want you to be in fear. I'm not going to sit here and let you be in fear. I'm going to tell you what's actually happening. So, you can believe who you want. You can either believe me, who literally was just at the White House but an hour and a half, 2 hours ago, or you can believe the news, who you know has lied to you many times before. The same news that said, oh, the Capitol building is surrounded at the Kavanaugh hearings. And then I went down and drove around the entire Capitol building, and they weren't even surrounding one side of the 4 sides. It's a big city. We have it under control. So, until next time, I'm going to let you guys sort it out amongst yourselves. And I'm going to let the little trolls get some sleep. It is really late for you trolls to be up. I know you got a long day of basement sleeping and hot pocket making and shit posting about Trump to do tomorrow. So you guys should really be, at this time of night, y'all should really be in bed. Should be really sleepy by, dreaming about Joe Biden fondling little children, just like you obviously do. So I hope you all get a good night's sleep. Me and my friends Me and my friends are going to get some sleep, and we're going to wake up tomorrow. And we're going to do everything we can to stop you idiots with your lying propaganda, your race baiting race wars, your ridiculous helter skelter politics, your shutdown tyranny, all this crap. We're going to fix it again tomorrow. Every single day. Sweetie, this is so cute. Boo boo, you're not a multimillionaire. Multimillionaires don't troll on random people's feeds and misspell words like you do. They also don't use fake pictures like you do. And they certainly don't. I mean, what is this? Him holds 4? What is that even? What is that even? Boo boo, you're not a multimillionaire in your dreams, but that's okay. That's what I'm saying. You get some sleepy by and you can get more dreams. And in your dreams, you can be as rich as you want to be. You can be as rich as you want to be. You can be a multimillionaire that actually spends time in the middle of the night trolling random strangers, because that's totally how you make millions of dollars. Until next time, this is your girl Suzanne Monk, trumping out.